I'm John Kovach. I'm a newspaper editor. I'm a radio announcer. I'm a high school football coach. And since I was old enough to stand on the side of a stream next to my dad, I've been an angler. I've fished with bait, lures, and flies. I've fished with spinning gear, fly rods, jigging poles, and tip-ups. I've stood on ice, waded rapids, and been tossed about the deck of a boat. And I want you to love fishing, be it freshwater or salt, heavy flows, high seas, or cutting through a foot of ice, as much as I do. No matter what the quarry, no matter the tactics, no matter the chosen tackle. Welcome to Yankee Fisherman. Welcome to fall. Yankee Fisherman, presented by the Dock Shop, with you this Thursday, September 24th. John Kovach from our Shelton studio. We're going to be heading out in the field with a number of stories. The blitz is on. It's heating up out there. I'm seeing a lot of big catches coming in. A lot of videos of bait, etc. Be careful while you are out there, because there is a lot of very rare and unusual and special visitors to the Sound going on as well. We've had whale sightings, humpback whale sightings, beluga whale, to the point that the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration is reminding boaters of the marine regulations that limit you in terms of how close you can get to a whale such that you don't endanger it. These whales are protected by the Federal Marine Mammal Protection Act. There are guidelines that you can find at the NOAA site. Ideally, from Maine through Virginia, except for North Atlantic right whales, you cannot get within 500 yards. That's 1,500 feet, unless you're granted an exception. Also out there are ocean sunfish. They're also known as mola. They're inedible. They're bony. They're heavy. They're protected. Leave them alone. Somebody's posted a video on Facebook of a criminal, I'm not going to call this person a fisherman, gaffing one of them. If you see the video out there and know who it is, please report to the proper authorities. Also, increased boat traffic out there with the blitz. There's one tragedy, one near tragedy. We lost an 81-year-old fisherman, Walter Krapinski of Southington, in a collision off of Watch Hill. There is also a hunt on right now for the boat involved in a hit and run off Montauk the other night. 2 boaters had to be rescued from that. Be careful if you are out there. There's a lot going on. Well, before we move on to fall, and we're going to be doing some blitz shows and whatnot, let's take one last look back at summer and one of the big events, and that is Summerfest at the Catskill Fly Fishing Center and Museum. We had casting going on. There were displays, rare tackle, a number of very cool things out there. Casters trying to see how close they could come to my camera, and coming pretty close, actually. But it was a fun time out there. We had, as I said, a number of rare reels and rods and artwork. Just a very cool time up there. We were up there for 2 days. Really enjoyed it. Had a great time. Had a great time at that. Always enjoy it. Hope to be up there again soon. They've got the Hall of Fame. They've got the Hall of Fame induction coming up. Casting contest, and the Catskill Center has the list of numbers up there. Very cool event. A lot of great people. Really enjoyed it. We are going to take a look now at one of the real special events of it, and that's Agnes Van Putt's birthday. Agnes, 99 years young. She is the Catskill Fly Fishing Center Museum. They had a cake for her. Agnes cut that cake. Happy birthday to her. Just a great time and a great crowd. And want to be back there for Agnes's 100th next summer. Like I said, this fall, you've got the Hall of Fame induction. They just announced a special award to Fishy Fulham. Just a really great time up at the Catskill Centers. One of the people we caught up with, and you just saw that shot of all the Hardy reels and the, really, really beautiful reels. Jim Murphy, he is a fly fishing gear consultant. We were lucky enough to spend a few minutes interviewing Jim.
Yankee Fisherman. We're at the Catskill Fly Fishing Center Museum Summerfest. We're with Jim Murphy. Jim, a consultant to the industry, a lot of background in it. He's got some tremendously unique pieces, paintings, kinetic sculptures, a lot of hardy reels. It's a very eclectic collection that you have out here. How'd you come across all this?
Well, over the last 25 years, I've been working in the fly fishing industry, both here and abroad, and it's a real confraternity of eccentrics who, gather around you in Paris or Korea or Germany or England or the Catskills. And everybody's got a little thing they do on the side. They paint or they sculpture, they build reels, or they collect things themselves. And oftentimes, things are for sale. And so I pick them up along the way.
Some of the more exotic, you've got sculptures from France, kinetic sculptures here?
Yeah, this is found art. It's art that's made of found bits. So he fabricates the piece, but he doesn't fabricate any of the parts. So that's a school of art. And this was built originally to go over a bed. And it has a little cam system that if you pull on it, the wings move. And the Parisian explanation for why he installed this procedure should probably remain off camera.
We'll leave that story untold. A number of reels here, a lot of them hardy?
No, most of them are not hardy. I do have one hardy. This here, the Ocean Prince, which is made in the 60s for as a saltwater reel, and it's spool. But no, most of these reels are actually prototypes that I happened to work on during my career as, I guess, at 5 different companies. This is the most interesting. It's the Atavist, and it's a multiplier reel with a 2.9 ratio. And a very interesting reel. I'd never brought it to market, but I designed it while I was at Albright Tackle.
Is that a concept that you see in fly reels a lot, the multiplier?
Well, you're always trying to find niches within the fly fishing business. Basically, if you can find something that has some currency that no one else is doing, you can get some traction. So this and a few other categories, you're always looking for those opportunities because there's a main fly fishing kind of order of 9-foot 5 weights, and then there's all these smaller micro bursts of marketing opportunities. Like right now, you have the fiberglass rage. You have before that the double-handed. You have the switch rods. So there's all kinds of little micro bursts that help the shops survive. Frankly, fairly difficult times.
Now, you've been around it for some time. Are you seeing a cyclical nature to it? I mean, fiberglass was totally out of vogue not that long ago, and now everybody wants fiberglass.
Yeah, I think that part of it is just kind of steaming along on its own accord. There's no real logic other than the fact that a lot of people are talking about it. At the same time, it gives people who have too many rods an excuse to buy a rod, and that's our primary responsibility to our retail customers, to give them something to buy. So a lot of these anglers who continue to buy new product in stores own a lot of product and are looking to add to it in a incremental way. So the switch, now they're getting down to 3-weight switch rods, which could only be reasonable as a merchandising opportunity.
That doesn't make a ton of sense to me.
Or check nymphing, which makes a bit more sense. A good friend of mine, Crosby Bean in New England, calls it stationary trolling. But that has given a new series of products to sell to younger fishermen, actually, because you don't have to really cast. It's more of a dapping thing. So that great hump of learning how to fly fish is not interrupted by learning how to cast.
Now, you've done a lot of fishing around the world. What are some of the more exotic places that you've fished?
Well, certainly exotic places. Iceland, New Zealand are, I guess, predictably exotic and lovely. Scotland, when I was at Hardy, I had to go over there every quarter, and they had always made arrangements for fishing. So fishing the Tweed or the Dee, the Dingle, the great rivers, and then down into the chalk stream area down near Stockbridge and Hertfordshire, and fishing the Test, the Kennet, and the Itchen. So.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
Great stuff. Jim Murphy, thank you very much for talking to us about the whole fly fishing, what goes into the business of fly fishing a little bit. Thank you very much. Our thanks again to Jim Murphy for filling us in on
just a fascinating career. I actually had the time to spend with Jim and actually talk about living in Europe and some of the adventures he's had fly fishing. Really just a fascinating guy. Got to spend some time with him later on that day at a place that we'll talk about later. For right now, we're going to step out, take a break, and let our advertisers have the air. We'll be right back with more Yankee Fisherman, presented by the Dock Shop on the HAN Network. While the temperatures are cooling down, the fall bite is heating up. Albies, bonita, blackfish, alligator blues, and stripers are following the large schools of bait that are abundant in the Long Island Sound. If you love the New England coast during autumn, this is the time to be on the water. The latest from Shimano, Quantum, Avet, Hoagie, Phase 2, and more are in stock and ready to go at the Dock Shop. And don't mind those fall breezes with jackets, hats, gloves, and fleece from Grundens and Stormer. The Dock Shop will keep you warm and dry. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, now in 2 locations, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, dockshop.com.
Remind you of the last time you went into a car dealership? Experience stress-free waters at Pamby Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram and find out how easy buying a car really is.
Back to school means back to busy, and Stewart's Market can save you precious time by stocking all of your favorite essentials under one roof. For a healthy start to school, we have all the ingredients. Walter Stewart's, your family-owned fresh local market, 229 Elm Street and at stewartsmarket.com.
Healthy, confident smiles begin at Stratford Orthodontics. Conveniently located on Main Street, we are Stratford's hometown orthodontist. We offer the latest in orthodontic technology, including Damon braces and Invisalign. We always accept new patients. Call today to schedule a complimentary consultation. 203-375-8332. Stratford Orthodontics, 2499 Main Street, Stratford. 203-375-8332. And online at stratfordsmile.com.
Welcome back to Yankee Fisherman, presented by the Dock Shop on the HAN Network. John Kovach coming to you from our Shelton studios and wearing a new Yankee Fisherman limited edition hat. Thanks, Mom and Dad, for the birthday present. I won't go into what birthday it is because that's its own thing, and we'll just leave that as it is. But thanks, Mom and Dad, for the Yankee Fisherman hat and gear. A lot of gear up there at the Catskill Fly Fishing Center and Museum when we were up there for Summerfest. Hardy sponsoring some of the casting competitions. A number of rod companies represented, some really cool antique stuff, some cool new stuff. And I ran into the guys from Tycoon Tackle and actually got to spend a few minutes talking to them about their company and the stuff that they make for fly fishermen.
Yankee Fisherman at the Catskill Fly Fishing Center Museum Summerfest with Tycoon Tackle. Guys, introduce yourselves.
Chris Riley. And I'm Tim O'Brien.
Now, Tim, tell us about Tycoon Tackle.
Tycoon Tackle started in 1935 in Miami, Florida. My father was the founder of the company and principal designer of many of the fishing rods, especially in the early days. Primarily, we were known as a saltwater brand, big game brand, and eventually started doing fishing rods for all types of fishing. And at one time, we held more than 90% of the world records on all game fish.
So what do you manufacture now? Is it primarily still tackle?
Fishing rods, that is our business. We have some accessories that we also market and sell, but primarily fishing rods, all still made in the United States. And we make everything from a 3-weight fly rod to a 130-pound trolling rod.
Chris, tell us a little bit about what makes a Tycoon tackle rod.
It's quality. I mean, these rods are of the utmost quality. Everything that goes into them, incredible workmanship, great blanks, and everything is made in U.S.
Now, is it strictly rods that you guys make with Tycoon?
Yes. That is our manufactured product. We do sell some accessories, some angling accessories, and a few books and lines and so forth that go along with them.
Now, where are you based?
Based in Waynesboro, Virginia. The company, we moved out of Florida a number of years ago, primarily for convenience. It's easy to travel from the middle of the mid-American states. It's easier to travel up and down the East Coast.
So what brings you up to the Catskills?
We're sponsoring today, along with our partners Ross Reels and 406 Fly Lines, the Tycoon Trophy, which is a trophy that annually is awarded to the top fiberglass fly rod caster. And the competition is held here.
First time up here?
No. I've been coming up here to the Catskills for a number of years, and I'm serving in my second term as a trustee of the Catskill Fly Fishing Center and Museum.
Guys, thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the day.
And thanks to Tim and Chris from Tycoon Tackle for talking to us. Great to see these companies come out and support fly fishing. Like I said, really just a great couple of days up there at the Catskill Center. Can't wait to get back up there. Casting contest, you can find information at their website. And Tycoon Tackle, just a great story. And we've told so many of them here on Yankee Fisherman, presented by the Dock Shop on the HAN network. Stories of fishermen kind of taking it into their own hands and creating tackle and lures and all kinds of things. When we come back, we're going to talk to somebody who took it into his own hands with some other people when it comes to something that goes great with fishing, and that's beer. When we're back on Yankee Fisherman, presented by the Dock Shop on the HAN network. The fall bite is heating up. Albies, bonita, blackfish, alligator blues, and stripers are following the large schools of bait in the Long Island Sound. This is the time to visit the New England coast, and the Dock Shop can get you outfitted with the latest fishing gear, jackets, hats, gloves, and fleece. Boater, beach bum, fishermen simply love the New England coast. This is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, now in 2 locations, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, dockshop.com.
When you experience a sports injury, you want to get better and fast. Coastal Ortho Express gives you direct access to orthopedic care quickly. Their physicians are fellowship trained in sports medicine at world-class universities and are also team doctors for area football teams. For specialized personal care of sports injuries, go to Coastal Ortho Express. Open Monday through Saturday in the iPark Building, 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or coastalorthoexpress.com. Coastal Orthopedics, keeping you on the move.
Sometimes, Rob Adams, when you get that prompt going to a website asking if you're 21, it just makes you feel good.
I would totally agree with that. It just makes me feel, I don't know, mature.
Yeah, that's it.
Mature.
That's it. That's what I'm looking for.
I really should have worn my Yankee Fisherman shirt today, by the way.
You're fine. You're wearing your Yankee shirt and R.I.P. Yogi.
Yeah, absolutely.
R.I.P. Yogi. Just so many memories. So we're talking about the Fly Fishing Center and Museum up in the Catskills. They're Summerfest, and one of the new groups out there was the Catskill Brewery, and they were set up by the food tent, really had some great stuff. And they're literally down the street. They're not a mile from the Catskill Fly Fishing Center and Museum on Old Route 17, Catskill Brewery in Livingston Manor. So we stopped by, ran into Jim Murphy, who you saw earlier in the show, had a good time talking to him, and got to talk to one of the founders of the Catskill Brewery, which really builds itself on the outdoors and fly fishing tradition found up in Roscoe and throughout the Catskills.
Yankee Fisherman at Catskill Brewery with Dana Ball, co-founder. Dana, you're just down the street from the Catskill Fly Fishing Center and Museum. You're across the street from the river. How important is fishing and the outdoors to this area and what we're doing?
Well, fishermen come up here all the time of the year, but mainly here in the summer. And what we appreciate and why we built this brewery was for the fact that we love nature. My partners love to fish. I'm from the Midwest. I'm more of a walleye fisherman. Just because I'm so busy now, it's hard for me to get my feet in the water. I will eventually someday, and I will teach my girls how to fish. I think it's one of the most beautiful places in the world. I've had time I spent some time in New Zealand, and I compare this to places like Auckland and other beautiful areas of New Zealand, and so yeah, fishing is part of what we appreciate of the Catskills, but we love nature. I moved here because of nature. Beer is one of my loves as well, and I'm just so happy that rural America can support a brewery now today than it couldn't have 20 years ago. And I believe New York City folks are looking for an escape more and more, and they love to get to nature to kind of ground them. And fishing and just being in the woods, having the fresh air is a big part of life in New York.
Your logo, and it's on the shirt that you're wearing, you've got a raccoon, you've got a rainbow trout with antlers that I have yet to catch. Tell us the story behind that.
Well, there's a few things. The beamock, I've heard that referred to the beamock, which is the beaver kill in the Willowweemic, where the rivers meet. They've seen this fish in there with antlers. It's as big as a deer, a buck with antlers. And if you can catch it, it's a glorious day. It also is sort of the play on the troutalope, we call it as well, and it's part of bringing history back to the Catskills and respecting history, as well as moving forward and trying to do something great for the Catskills and bringing awareness to this area, which I believe has sort of been forgotten since the Borscht Belt and the big hotels and all the comedy, and this place was flourishing. There was hotels all around us at one time, and some of them still stand, but they're not operable. And so my partners had this vision of bringing this sort of light manufacturing industry to this area, and this will definitely be an anchor for this town, but the message is through the beer, but it's you take your beer and you enjoy the great outdoors, which is a fantastic pairing, beer and outdoors.
Now you're established in 2014. How many different beers are we brewing here at Catskill Brewery in Livingston Manor?
We have 7 right now. Beer, we do things based on the season. So, and beer is a great way to show the season. So I'm drinking a Pilsner right now. It's a warm day here in the summer. The Pilsner won't sell very well in the winter. We'll have a black lager, but that'll take its place. So seasonal and beer work very well, and you're forced here in the Catskills to live by the season. So if it's dead of winter, your life changes completely, and same with summer. This is like heaven for us right now. So and beer is very reminiscent of what we experience every day living in the Catskills.
How long had you thought of opening a brewery? Because I'm sure it's every beer aficionado's dream.
Yeah, it is, and it's not an easy thing to do. But we are in the golden era of beer on Earth. There's no better time ever. There's more breweries today than there's ever been, and this is a great time. And also technology, ingredients, things have come to a point where beer is also tasting the best it's ever tasted as well. So, I was homebrewing in college. I always loved full flavored beers. So to have this opportunity to meet other like-minded guys that want to do something great and make really good beer, it is a very special thing.
Every one of these niche breweries has a specialty style of beer. What is it here at Catskill Brewery in Livingston Manor?
That's a good question. We make beers that we like to drink here, and so I would say we like classic style. So we're making a Czech style pils is what I'm drinking right here, what I'm holding, and also we have all of our beers generally have a character to them. They are dry, they're not sweet, and they're very flavorful, and they're very clean, and I believe we're making some of the best beers in America, which I'm very excited to be part of.
Now, we're primarily located in Connecticut. Our listening audience, is this the only place they can get Catskill Brewery beers?
Coming to this brewery is a great experience, and we have beers here that you can't get elsewhere. But no, we are in New York City. We deliver there once. We self-distribute. We deliver there once a week. About a third of our volume goes to New York City, and the other 2/3 are scattered throughout the Hudson Valley, as well as Binghamton and Oneonta. So I think I go in about 100 to 150 miles in each direction, and that includes New York City.
What are some of the future plans for the Catskill Brewery?
Well, the plans are to continue making great beer, and that's first and foremost. Otherwise, we're trying to keep up with demand. It's great to have that problem, but so we're expanding. We put in some new tanks that are to my left, and that was last week. We constantly buy new kegs. So the beer business is one day at a time. We'd love to plan out longer than that, but it's hard to do that. We have a silo that we're going to fill with grain that will cost us less to buy grain per pound that way. We're going to continue just taking each day as it comes and continue to grow and try to do it respectfully to the area that we have here, such as this brewery. We start blowing out walls and building. It is probably in the future, but we want to grow in a way that we can basically sustainable. So we want to just keep it logical, and we're self-distributing, so that's an animal that we got to take on. I mean, if we had a distributor that carried our beer out, we could make 1 million kegs and put it on our truck, and then they would store it and then sell it. But we like to hand deliver each keg ourselves, and we like to make it's some of the freshest beer you possibly can get your hands on. So yeah.
Let me just say I'm enjoying it, and I've become a beer snob, and I'm really enjoying it here at the tasting room. Say somebody comes up to fish up here, they want to stop at the Catskill Museum. What's the address for the Catskill Brewery?
Oh, that's a great one. We're right on the same road, so we're on Old Route 17. This used to originally be the highway, and it's no longer. It's basically a rural road now. So we're at 672. You would get off at the exit. The same exit you would get off for the museum in Livingston Manor, and you would take a right, and you would look for a beautiful building about 100 yards up on your right, and then probably a half mile down the road on your left is the museum, which is a great place to visit as well.
And this looks like a farm, which really hammers it home.
Yeah, you can't get away from what this history of the Catskills is, and it's farms, it's beautiful landscape, and you have to fit in, and that's the beauty of this place, the sustainability of the environmentally sound building that we put here. We have geothermal wells, solar panels. We try not to throw anything away. We have our recyclables right here. We're very conscious of we have the lights off in here. We're trying to have the smallest footprint we can have, and as well as making great beer, which is not the easiest thing to do.
It's a great atmosphere here. I'm really enjoying the time here. Dana Ball, thank you so much for letting us talk to you here about Catskill Brewery and what you guys are doing and the importance of nature, the environment, the outdoors, and outdoorsmen to the Catskills here.
Yeah, and I think, again, thank you, but we try to attract other like-minded folks to build industry around us. We're not a brew pub, we're just a manufacturing brewery, and so we're just we're a small part, but if everyone gives a little bit, we can make this a better place.
Dana Ball, Catskill Brewery, thank you very much.
And we want to thank Jim Murphy, the Catskill Fly Fishing Center and Museum, Tycoon Tackle, and Catskill Brewery for helping us out with this week's Yankee Fisherman. Get out, enjoy the blitz. The fall stocking's begun. It's a great time to be a fisherman. Get out there and enjoy it. We'll be back next week with another edition of Yankee Fisherman presented by the Dock Shop on the HAN Network.